Good morning. So you're going to see me cook a healthy breakfast, and then I'll be talking to you while I'm doing it. So the first thing I need to do is get some ingredients out of the pantry. So I'm disappearing off picture for a moment. And I'm back. This is cream of wheat. I moved it to an airtight box because this is South Florida and there are bugs everywhere. Most of them are gone out of this house now that the roommate is gone. So still, I don't want to take any chances because this is something that bugs love. So I poured it in here and I put the ingredients on the thing. It is cream of wheat. It's a name brand cream of wheat, but they're not paying me, so I just put the instructions on there. I don't need the logo all over it. I think the logo is a little bit offensive. We're in 2025. We don't need to be exploiting people and everything. So there it is. There's a measuring scoop. And something that did not survive the dishwasher. I don't like to use the dishwasher, so put that very beautiful looking thing in there. And measuring cup. I am lactose intolerant, so I've got a whole bunch of soy milk. I'm gonna use that. And nice microwave bowl. And a serving calls for 3 tablespoons of this, so that's a lot. Okay. And 3/4 of a cup of milk. Did I say I live in South Florida? Well, I'm kind of outside of Orlando. I put Orlando on there because I don't need people showing up at the door. I had to file a restraining order against someone. I'm close enough to Orlando that I get my medical treatments there. That's what you all need to know. And a lot of my videos are filmed in Orlando. It does take me about 2 hours to drive in there, so it's somewhere around Orlando. I'm closer to Orlando than Miami, so it's considered the Orlando metropolitan area. Oh God. Okay. Enough. Okay. original owner of this house, if you're wondering, yes, I look like a hobbit living in an elf house or something. The original owner of the house was a giant. He was like 7 feet tall or something. I'm not making this up. And my roommates that no longer live here were like normal sized guys, and they were also like reaching for stuff. So the stuff in this house is really, really giant. And I am going to be using a ladder to use the microwave oven. So there are ladders everywhere. That's not the only step ladder. That was my brother's ladder, and it was not very clean when I got it over here, and I had to like spray it with that scrubbing bubble stuff, and I probably used half a can of it to clean it up, but it's clean now. My brother is not a very clean person. They say you're not supposed to speak ill of the dead. I said cottage form for a year, so I did what I need to do. You know, my brother helped me out when I was going through that depression. You know, I have kind of mixed feelings about him. He was also very difficult to live with, very difficult to deal with. You know, anyone who has someone with autism in their family understands that. And I'm on a spectrum myself, but you know, I leave people alone. You know, HSP is very different than some of the other spectrum disorders. You know, and my ADHD is pretty well managed. You know, I also leave people alone with it. I've always sought out people to give me advice how to cope with it. And when I was in college, my aunt, who's like, she's still around. She has been very on top of all the treatments and everything. She put her kid on Ritalin when he was like 9 and all that. Nobody heard of Ritalin, and he was on Ritalin. He was like zombied out of watching The Simpsons all the time. He's doing really well for himself now. I think he's a tenured professor now. Oh, that's what I'm supposed to do. Stir it. But she put him on Ritalin, and she was like, "Oh, you have it too," you know. And I did a very ADHD thing and left my dorm keys at their house. But she was like, "So this is what I do to manage it." My neurologist told me to do this. Is I have little outlines of, this is where the scissors go, this is where this goes, this goes, this goes. I was like, that's amazing, you know, because I'm always misplacing my keys and everything. So you just put them in the same spot every time, you know. And I started doing that, and I never misplaced my keys again, except that I left them in their house when I went back. And so I had to get loaner keys from the dorm. And I was like, you know how you had that talk with me? I kind of left my keys because they were not on my checklist. and because I thought it would be obvious that I would take my keys with me, but it wasn't. And so can you please send me my keys? And my uncle was he was the postmaster in Newark, and I got those keys in 8 hours. So he knew exactly. They had like $50 worth of stamps on it, and they got from Newark to Boston in 8 hours. So the post office can be very, very fast when they want to be. When boss tells them to send it, they can be very fast. So that's my ADHD story. That's how I know how to cope with it. That's how my house normally looks pretty neat and everything. It does not look neat. If you came in here right now, you would know I have ADHD. It is a mess. It is a filthy mess. I am not going to show you what it looks like off camera. It definitely looks like somebody with ADHD lives here. I blame that more on the cancer, because I'm like, I don't know, maybe it is ADHD, but it's not ready. It's probably the ADHD really kicking in, because I'm very stressed out. I still have to mail that letter to the garbage people. It's all ready to mail out. I can't find my envelopes. So I think they're going to get an envelope from a Christmas card or something like that. And I think it's ready now. That is messy. I hope I don't bump this. I think I did. Okay, and now I'm going to need to turn this again. Mess. Hot. Cream of wheat comes out lumpy when you make it in the microwave. That has been known to happen. The secret to making really good cream of wheat is, if you happen to have a nice coffee set up like I do, you get your choice of syrups, and I would like chocolate pretzel cream of wheat. I don't bother adding salt to it. My foods are so salty, it's fine without it. And I think that has salt in it anyway. Salted pretzel. I add a couple packets of sweetener to it. It smells really amazing. And I like my coffee, I'm off camera. I like my coffee to match my cream of wheat. So if I have pumpkin spice cream of wheat, I have pumpkin spice coffee, that kind of idea. So this is gross. I'm going to throw in the trash that needs to be thrown out. These are recyclable. So I'm going to throw them in the gigantic pile of boxes that's off camera that you don't want to see. There's a little bit of this left. I'm going to leave that out for the coffee. And I'm going to put this back in the pantry, which is very neat and organized. And I'm back on camera. So the next thing is I need to pick out a mug for my coffee. So I'm going to pick this one. This was a gift from my niece. So I'll start out with some syrup. I like my food to be the same flavor. So I'm going to make more salted caramel flavor. And I need to add water. I like 3 packets of equal in my coffee. Other people have other preferences. I'm going to need to add some water. I'll do this first. That whole study that they did was a hoax. Like Pat Robertson made roast and toast and keep quite warm for all eternity. Actually, he's probably reincarnated somewhere as a pill bug or something like that. But anyway, what I do is I put a little of this cheap creamer in there, and that makes it creamy. And then I can use regular soy milk in it. Rather than buying the really expensive non-dairy creamer for it. So I'm going to put that away. I still have to add water to the K-Cut machine. I forgot I left this out overnight. So the water's still warm in the Brita filter. This is a necessity when you live in Florida. Water is not very good drinking quality, so. I usually like to fill it at night and then I have cold water, but it's fine because I have Pepsi and I have something I call Diet Dr. P. It's some Bobo brand. I don't know what it is. It's I have a soda stream. You can maybe see it in the background here somewhere. Here. And that is a political statement because SodaStream works for peace in that little area. They are located, I think they relocated it off of the controversial area, and they hire Israelis, they hire Arabs, and they hire Palestinians, and they all work together. And there have been complaints that they work them very hard, but you know what? I lived in Israel for 3 years, and Israelis get treated like crap too. So that's just a thing. Everybody gets treated like crap. I live in the United States. I don't get treated very nicely either, but at least I have a paycheck. So that's a thing everywhere. You know, you're not going to be treated like a king if you're the bottom rung employee. That's the way it is, you know. I think there's a different work ethic in other countries. And if they want to make Israeli money, they have to use the Israeli work ethic. And it's a lot different than maybe the work ethic in Jordan. And that's, as they say in Israel, mala so it means what can you do? Israel has a Turkish work ethic, and they work a lot harder in Turkey. And that's a thing that people don't realize is that Israel considers itself Turkey. They're like Jewish Turkey. That is what we were taught. We had to take immigrant classes for 6 months when I moved there. We learned about the history and the culture and the language. I'm not very good at Hebrew, but they definitely, they still use Turkish common law and things like that. The court system's set up that way. There's a religious court that deals with controversial things, words I'm not going to use, because I probably lost a lot of views on my last video because I had to put a trigger alert on it. I had looked it up because I said the S word on the video by accident instead of another word. So that's you know, that's how that's the deal with SodaStream. So, you know, I am not paid by them. I'm not advertising for them or anything. That was a political thing that I decided to do because I want there to be peace in that region. I don't want little children getting killed because they're being used for human shields just to make some statement. I think that's evil. You know, we don't live in the Bronze Age where there's like, you know, genocide, some kind of a people because some 3,000-year-old writer said to do that. That is evil and wrong to do that. You know, I'm going to buy a thing that saves me money on soft drinks, which, by the way, I don't drink soft drinks all the time. I get cravings for them sometimes, so, but that's how I'm going to do that. That saves me money, and people work together to build that. People who are goats, people who have been displaced, and people who moved there for philosophical reasons, and maybe they were displaced too. So everybody is working in harmony to build those things, and that's why I bought it. I think it makes a good message. That's what people need to be doing. They need to be working together and making something that saves people money. And the company is owned by the Pepsi factory, and they make delicious soda, and I'm not being paid to say that. I've been addicted to Diet Dr. Pepper for I don't know how long, which is actually, I'm not sure if that's made by Pepsi, but it's some kind of store brand syrup that I got that they make. And I love Pepsi Zero, and that's the real syrup, so not being paid to endorse it at all. So I guess I'm going to be drinking that. I'm really supposed to be drinking like Gatorade Zero. That's like a medical thing. I had chemo yesterday, so, and that stuff is the cream of wheat that I made is like way too hot to eat right now. So That's why I'm chattering with you. So now my water's hot to make my coffee. So I just sit and wait, and then I get to smell it. That smells good. Milk. Okay, there's not enough milk for my coffee in here. So I need to go to the pantry. I like to have an applesauce. This is organic applesauce. It's Costco brand. And these are shelf-safe yogurts that I found over there. And this is a name brand, so I'm not going to show you the label. But I am a little disappointed in this, because I found that it does not have live cultures in it, which would explain why it's shelf-safe. So this is basically yogurt-flavored pudding. Maybe this was just one of those things that was meant to be. Maybe it's not the best idea for me to be eating yogurt yet during chemo. So this is strawberry yogurt flavored. It's actually, it says it's yogurt. I think it's pudding. This is basically pudding. And if I had known I was getting pudding, I might have gotten pudding, but it tastes better than pudding. So I'm going to have that. Let me get a napkin. And I am big on this. I have grown-up napkins, and I also have toddler napkins because I bought those when my nephew was a toddler a long time ago, and I still have them. So let's see if I can show you what I have here. Yeah, you can see it. So I'm going to get ready to eat. And so have a wonderful day. And that's kind of me having a healthy breakfast. I did little magnetic flakes are hard to get rid of. I did already take my pills this morning, so I don't need to take them again. And I had to adjust my pills this week because of having chemo, so that means that I did not have ginkgo for the last couple days. Now I can have ginkgo again because when they work with my port, I'm not supposed to be taking ginkgo. It does stuff to my blood, makes it thin and everything, and they don't want me doing that. So have a wonderful day, and I'll fill you in later. Bye.